A young girl stands there, arms held by her sides, her eyes wild and blue. Her hair is light brown, her fringe cut just above her eyebrows. She wears a white dress, long and modest, which falls to her ankles. Her dress is composed of numbers of layers and looks like something that belongs to another era, another time. In England, and Queen Victoria was on the throne, and the horses and carriages still the main way people go about, and it was socially acceptable to wear bonnets in public. She looks like nobody I've seen before, except for characters in period dramas. There's something unrealistic about her appearance. I can only bring myself to believe she's really real. Maybe that's why I do something I rarely ever do. My curiosity unsticks my throat, and I find myself asking her a question. Do you want a kiss? Toma, are you going to a costume party? Are you referring to this old thing? The dress doesn't look like something old. It's expensive, right? I believe it was rather dear when Father first purchased it. Now, however, I'm not particularly well versed in economy, so I cannot give you an answer. A father? What kind of girl calls her pa father? Maybe I'm just biased because me dad vanished before I was even born. Mum told me he couldn't cope with the commitment, which was quite funny, really, because he had no qualms about commitment when he asked me to sleep with him. But father sounds far too dated. And I haven't touched on the other stuff she said. Girl smiles. Her face remains pale and does not flush, but I can imagine blood coursing beneath her cheeks all the same. She gives me the impression of blushing, even though she does not. I'm supposed people would use dad nowadays. Forgive me. I'm not all familiar with such a phrase, and it sounds quite peculiar to me. And the plot thickens. My questions about seem to invite more questions, and I find myself drawn towards a strange girl despite myself. I want to know who she is. I want to understand her. It must be this feeling, this desperate thirst for hidden knowledge, which encouraged Mum to track down the now remains of Zachary Kindle, Maribel Spencer, Rose Bradford, and the rest. So, I've not seen you around Barrowby before. Do you live here? I lived here a very long time. But you don't look much older than me. I'll be 15 years old this December. At least I should be. So she's 14 too. You say that you lived here a long time, but I've never seen you before. You don't go to St. Hugh's, do you? She shakes her head. So what school do you go to? Ruskin, Standing? Not Walton girls. She shakes her head again. Then, are you homeschooled? That would explain why she's doing in this graveyard at 8:20 on Friday afternoon, wearing such a strange outfit. She might as well have fled from one of those old-fashioned photographic parlor places. I suppose I was homeschooled, yes. I never have been to school before. I used to have Ellie, but I'm not seeing her in some time. Ellie? A private tutor? Something like that, yes. She was rather strict. She got so angry when I escaped from her stuffy old history lessons and hid on Lincoln's estate. She smiles a soft, gentle smile, and I'm like an old woman with runny eyes when recalling a fond memory. I don't know if I've ever seen anybody my age pull off a face like that before. Just who is this girl? But you don't have a tutor anymore? There wouldn't be much point anymore. Is she one of those YouTube celebrities? VGames.com? VGames Gone Wild? She looks like part of those in those clothes. I can imagine her as one of those eccentric, self-proclaimed living dolls who will get thousands of subscribers for eating food on camera. So, I'm sorry. This is the first question I should have asked. What's your name? Emily? Emily? I think I can remember that. It's a common enough name. There are two Emilys in my class, Emily Hargraves and Emily Turner. I don't know if this fits the girl in front of me though. Emily sounds too simple, somehow unfinished too, like a sentence ending without a full stop. I don't investigate any further, however. I hardly know this girl. What right do I have to ask so many questions? And if it would not be too rude, may I inquire as to what I should call you? Oh, I should have expected this. When somebody asks you for your name, it's only polite to ask theirs in return. I don't like answering this question, though. I never have done. Just what is me name anyway? It says Tom on my birth certificate, but I can't bring myself to believe that. Not when I was fated before I took me first breath to be called Amelia. Oh, do not look so troubled. You will make me feel guilty. I'm sorry. Ha! What a funny girl. You don't need to apologize. She thinks I'm funny, does she? That's kind of strange, given how peculiar she looks. You do not need to tell me your name if you do not wish to. We all have our own secrets. Are you sure you don't mind? I'm quite sure. I could just make up a name for you instead. Please be Amelia. Bet you it's gonna be Amelia. Bet me!